the Heckler & Koch MP5 versus the Heckler & Koch MP7. Yes, it's the battle you've all been waiting for. It's a battle of the Kochs. Originating in 1966, the MP5 has been in a plethora of conflicts, such as the Vietnam War, all the way to the Iraq War. Yes, this Koch has seen a lot of action. But a new challenger awaits. Yes, the MP7. Manufactured in the year 2000, this young whippersnapper has a lot to prove to the already well-established MP5. Yes, the MP7 may be smaller, may be less experienced, but it does suspiciously look like it could be Mr. Utonium's schlong. But that's enough penis jokes for today. It's time to get serious and find out just how different two whole numbers can really be and answer the old age question of, does size really matter? Let's get things started here with the damage, starting off with the MP5 up close and personal. Starting off with the prosthetic leg, ouch, 30 damage. Let's move up to the lower body where we're going to be doing a 34 points of damage. And the same thing happens to the upper chest, 34 damage as well. And lastly, the big dome shot will be doing 49 points of damage. Let's switch on over to the MP7 for close range damage. To the legs and arms, 22 points of damage. Moving up to the lower body, we'll be doing 25 points of damage. The lower body will be the same as the upper chest, we'll be doing 25 points of damage again. And finally, the big 40 to the head. Alright, so what do we got going on here? Well, for the MP5, there's our damage numbers. As you can see, we've got a very generous 3-shot kill range. Always going to be a 3-shot unless you shoot the limbs, which is the legs or arms, turn it into a 4-shot. The MP7, on the other hand, it's only going to 3-shot to the head. The rest will require 4 shots and even 5 shots to the limbs, so clearly accuracy is more of a factor when using the MP7. There's our Warzone numbers, so for the MP5 you got 6 to 9 shots, and for the MP7 you've got 7 to 11 shots. Alright, what about medium range? Let's fire through the MP5 here. To the limbs, 22 points of damage, to the lower chest and upper chest, 25 points, and to the head, a big 36. Switching on over to the MP7 here at medium range, we're going to be doing 16 to the limbs, 18 to the lower body and the upper chest, and finally a big 29 to the head. So no surprise here, the MP5 is just going to keep doing work. We can see at medium range it's going to take 3 to 5 shots, but we do have that generous 4-shot body shot kill range. The MP7 is slowly trailing behind here at medium range. It's now dropped down to 4 to 7 shots. 6 shots to the body, giving the MP5 a 2-shot advantage as long as you're shooting in the body. And for Warzone respectively, the MP5 is going to take 7 to 12 shots at medium range. The MP7 is going to take 9 to 16 shots. Let's finish this bad boy off here at long range. The MP5, 17 to the limbs, 19 to the upper and lower body, and finally 27 to the head. And finally for the MP7 here at long range, we're doing a whopping 14 points of damage. Upper body and chest 16 again, and to the head big 25. Here we go. So at the longest ranges, both guns actually hold their ground very well. The MP5 becomes a 4 to 6 shot, the MP7 becomes a 4 to 8 shot. Not too much of a difference from the medium damage ranges. And for those keeping track at home, our Warzone numbers become 10 to 15 shots to kill for the MP5, 10 to 18 shots for the MP7. So obviously the MP5 is a heavy hitter. But we're just getting started here, we got a lot to compare. Let's go into the range section. So we just learned for the MP5 that up close it's going to do 30 points of damage to the legs. At medium range it's only going to do 22 points of damage. So using a calculator I determined that setting the health to 25 would give me a 1-shot kill once I crossed over that close to medium range threshold. And sure enough, we hit this right here, clocked in at 13 meters. Of course, we can do the same magic for the MP7 to find the close medium range cutoff, and that close to medium range threshold is going to be clocked in at 11 meters. How about medium to long range? Here with the MP5 we're doing 19 points of damage. Take one step up, we're going to be doing 25 points of damage, which means our range is at 21 meters. Switching the health to 15, we can do this for the MP7, the long range threshold. Take one step further. And boom goes the dynamite. There's the 1-shot kill at 22 meters. Now I always like to visualize this using everyone's favorite line of sight right here on Shoot House. Starting off here with the MP5, the red line is its close range. Extending out further, the purple line, that's the medium range. And then anything past that is long range. And we have the exact same thing for the MP7 with the green and yellow there. Here, let's print it out nice and clearly here, no questions asked. You can see the range differences are not too extreme. The MP5 does have initial greater range, but then actually slows down in the medium range there and gets surpassed by the MP7. And then just because we can throw up how many shots it's going to take to kill at those respective ranges. To be honest, I don't really think there's too much significance in these numbers for the range. I would give the advantage to the MP5 just because you tend to be up close and personal most of the time when you're using an SMG, but we'll maybe chew on this knowledge a little later. Let's head on to the second final thing I want to talk about. Alright, so just because the MP5 does more damage doesn't necessarily mean it'll kill quicker than the MP7. In general, that might be true, but if the MP7 actually shoots faster and significantly faster, it might be able to take down people a little bit quicker than the MP5. So this is where time to kill comes in, and the first thing we're going to need to do is test the fire rate of each gun. So starting off here with the MP5, we get 850 rounds per minute, but maybe more importantly, 14.2 rounds per second. Switching on over to the MP7, we're going to get 1050 rounds per minute, about 17.62 rounds per second. So what does this all mean? Well, if we slow things down, we can see that the MP7 shoots significantly faster than the MP5. So much faster that the MP7 actually has a 5-shot advantage and a 30-shot mag. So what does this all mean? There's too many numbers here. Numbers are hard to understand. I don't like them. I like pictures instead. Let's revisit our damage charts from earlier in the video. We've got our 3 different ranges represented here from close to long range. But now that we got our time to kill all sorted out, we can actually get some legit damage charts here. So here they are in a heat map form. Everything that's colored green means that the MP7 will be able to kill faster when shooting at this area. The purple's MP5, the gray means guns basically perform the same. But keep in mind there's literally thousands of combinations you can use. You could say 2 shots to the legs, limbs, 1 shot to the chest, 1 shot to the head. What's that gonna give me? What gun's gonna kill faster? Obviously we can't test all 1,000. At least I'm not gonna. Be my guest if you'd like to. So you can use these maps as kind of a general rule of thumb. Up close, if you're confident you can get a headshot, 1-2 headshots, then the MP7 will probably be the gun that's gonna kill faster for you, and so on and so forth. And I went and did the Warzone damage charts. You can see not much changes, but medium range becomes an MP5 dominated machine. And the limbs get grayed out at long range, meaning both guns are pretty much the same. So this is probably the most important piece of information in determining which gun you think you should use, which gun would perform better. But we have one last topic to talk about because damage and time to kill isn't important, but how easy is it to get those bullets on target? So we're going to move into the last section for mobility. Alright, so just a couple quick tests here. We're going to do the aim down sight speed for the 2 guns. Basically the same. That could be some testing error there in the 0.01 difference, but safe to say that both of these guns pretty much perform the exact same, even with the tactical sprint there. And finally a quick recoil test. Bullets and damage can only go so far if you can't hit your target, so let's just see how these 2 guns handle their bullets. On the left is the MP5, the right is the MP7. The MP5 definitely has a bit of vertical recoil and shifts to the right quite a bit. The MP7 is pretty much just straight vertical. And we can take the cross section of these recoil patterns and find out that the MP5 has a little bit more recoil, about 55% more. So unlike their sprint out speeds, we do see a difference here. Excuse the piss poor video quality here. I don't know what was going on with my recorder, but that's pretty much it for this video. We've put them to the test. And just like every other comparison video I've done, I am left with really no comment on which gun is better. Infinity Ward, they've just done a great job of balancing these guns in this game. Each gun is really designed to complement a certain playstyle. At the end of the day, it really just boils down to which playstyle is more favorable to a greater number of people. You can vote up in the top right of the video for which gun you think is better. I'd like to thank Arvind Kumar for the suggestion of this video. Everyone else, feel free to let me know which guns you'd like to see next time. I'm tapped out. My work here is done. I will see you guys in about a week's time. Have a great afternoon.